How's it going, everyone? This is EK1 Gaming here, and today's video we're bringing you today's brand spanking new patch notes for Outriders. Now, these notes are going to upset some people and they're going to make some other people pretty happy. Now, let me know in the comment section below what you think about the patch, and also if you enjoy this video, hit the like button, and if you want to help support the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the little notification bell. With that being said, let's get straight into the video. So let's start with the patch news. Now, this is their first big patch for the main Outriders game. And as of today, the deployment of this patch is scheduled for next week. They are using this week to identify as many severe issues as possible, fix them, and then thoroughly test the changes across all platforms. So this pretty much shows that they're actually wanting to fix the whole thing in one go rather than keep bringing out these patches. Now, they do say we are doing our utmost to deliver you a stable patch as soon as possible, and we're continually looking at ways to bring patch release days earlier. So basically, they're not committing to a patch release date, but they should be looking at next week, you know, etc., to get these issues fixed that we're going to go through in just a second. Now, they're going to let us know as soon as they have a confirmed release schedule. Of course, we'll be releasing that on the channel as well, so be sure to keep an eye out on their Twitter and social media channels. So let's start off now with the actual notes, and we're going to start with a huge positive, and that is any players who have played between 31st of March and April the 11th are eligible for an appreciation package. So any players outside the above window for whom will have performed an automatic inventory wipe, we are also eligible for that as well. So if your inventory has been wiped or you've been restored, you're also eligible for this package. Now, your highest level character is going to receive a level appropriate legendary weapon, a level appropriate amount of titanium, and the emote frustration, which is otherwise unobtainable at this moment in time. You know, they said it's not intentional, but it is quite fitting to have that frustration emo. Now, they're basically just coming honest and saying, look, these are our intentions, but these details are subject to change. So basically, they could change some of it, but basically they want to give us something to say sorry or to say, look, we appreciate you as a community. I think that is really a good touch. So now we've got the positivity out of the way, let's take a look at what's actually changing within the game and what they're doing to implement some changes. Now, the first lot are PC and console. So once they've got all platforms on the same patch version, crossplay across platforms will become viable again. So overall stability improvements for the matchmaking services are going to happen as well. And they've fixed some crashes. Now, this will fix a multiplayer crash that could result in client players having their inventory wiped. They will fix the crash when completing a bad day side quest. They fix the crash that occurs in no man's land when your language is set to Spanish. They will fix a crash on launch issues, and they will include many more random crash fixes. We are confident that these fixes will address the majority of crashes reported, and there are only a handful of root causes, but the crashes they generate appear in a number of places. Now, they're going to fix the HUD disappearing on certain cases. They'll fix bugs that interfere with players respawning in multiplayer expeditions. They'll also fix bugs with players getting stuck on geometry, so like using the gravity leap, getting stuck inside sandbags and stuff. And we will change the default matchmaking setting from open to closed. So you'll still be able to manually change this setting to open through your game settings as well, but they're going to change it just to always closed. Now, this change will prevent players from joining games where their host didn't intend to be in a multiplayer, and it will also cut down on the AFK lobbies. This will also help improve matchmaking times, as the queues will be less likely to be overwhelmed by the sheer volume of constant matchmaking requests. And there's going to be many other minor fixes and improvements. Now, on PC specific, they will also fix a performance issue where the GPU was not fully utilized. So even though there are a lot of bugs, of course, some of those or a majority of those should be fixed. Now, let's talk about inventory wipes and restoration. Now, they believe that the rate of this bug appearing should be greatly reduced once the upcoming patch has been published. So hopefully it's going to be fixed. Now, they are going to do a restoration, and it should take place on a specific day and should be a one-time event, similar to what happened in the demo. They're going to update you when we have confirmation of the date and timings. Now, we will only be able to restore the most valuable tiers of items lost, so epics and legendaries only. They will not be able to restore any kind of inventory with blue gear. Now, the restoration should be additive to your inventory. It should not replace your current one. So whatever you have now, it will just be added on. And restored items may not have the exact same stats as the lost items, which to me is a bit of a bummer, but hey, at least you're going to get those items back. So now let's talk about the multiplayer stability and connection. So co-op and multiplayer sessions are a separate matter from solo play connectivity. Launching a multiplayer session requires multiple different partners and services. For example, matchmaking and queuing are hosted by one provider, while the peer-to-peer relay is handled by another. This is kind of what we imagined it would be like, and we did say it's not just down to them. However, they do go on to say that the upcoming patches should help alleviate crashes in multiplayer, as well as improve stability and speed. And because of the complexity of the multiple systems involved, they're going to continue to improve and iterate upon their systems in order to deliver you a better multiplayer experience. In most cases, this can and has already been done via the back end without patching in the game, but it's something they're going to keep a close eye on because obviously it is annoying people. Now that leads us on to connectivity post-mortem. So their team worked throughout the Easter weekend and around the clock to resolve the server issues that we were all experiencing, and they completely understand how frustrating this experience will have been, especially given the huge amount of players that eagerly anticipated the launch. Now, they have enough server scaling capacity, but our externally hosted database was seeing issues that only appeared at extreme loads. Now, because they're committed to full transparency with us, which they have been from the start, they're not going to just give us the server demand was too much for us as an excuse. So what they are in fact debugging is a complex issue with why some metric cores were bringing down our externally hosted database. We did not face the issue during the demo launch earlier this year, so what's happened now did not happen in the demo. Our database is used to hold on to everyone's gear, legendaries, profile, and progression. And here's a tech-heavy insight. If you want to see that, just go ahead and click the link in the description below. The full patch notes will also be there. I'm not going to read out the tech heavy stuff, but they're being 100% transparent and showing you or telling you exactly what happened and exactly what they're doing about it. Now, last but certainly not least, this may annoy some people, and this is going to be really something people are going to be talking about. It's the rebalancing that is happening. So balancing is done by a separate team. They're just making you aware of this, that all the other people who are meant to be working on the bugs are actually working on bugs. But rebalancing in general is Historian, Bounty Hunt, and Monster Hunt quests no longer grant legendary items for each subsequent completion, meaning you can't do that, go and complete 10 and hand it in and get a legendary every time. So they have said, while rewarding players for completing all Historian, Bounty Hunts, and Monster Hunt quests is still their intention, we did observe unintended results. So basically, the kind of exploits that was going on to get all of those legendaries. They do say here, players who took advantage of the exploit will not be punished. So if you did do it, don't worry, you are not going to be punished. They've also adjusted loot on specific enemies: Tuka Beast, Split Tooth, Sandshifter, and Cold Claw. These particular beasts are being too generous considering the required effort to take them down. So they're going to reduce that loot. Now, Chemplant expedition time for gold, silver, bronze adjusted to 650, 1150, and 1500 seconds. Now, previously that was 957, 1303, and 1650. For me personally, I'm not happy about that, but hey, it is what it is. Boomtown expedition time has also been adjusted: 390, 589, 776 seconds. It was previously 422, 607, and 792. So some expeditions seem to be too generous in their required completion times when compared to others. We want to avoid such disproportionate discrepancies. So basically, they don't want everyone just to do one. Now, crit rating damage multiplier and tactical assault rifle reduced to 165%. That was previously 175. They also have crit rating damage multiplier on marksman rifles has been reduced to 250 from 300%. And the duration of the Massacre AP buff has been reduced to 3 seconds. This is a temporary measure until they have fixed an issue with the stacking cap. Now, bullet abilities, twisted rounds, blighted rounds, and volcanic rounds. Let's go into what they're going to be changing and doing with this. So the base cooldown of the twisted round skill has increased to 25 seconds. This was previously at 16 seconds. While infinity uptime on bullet abilities was always our intention, is intended to be high risk, high reward playstyle. And basically they're just changing that to make it more of a thrilling experience. Now the Trickster's hero tree nodes, Disruptive Firepower, Scion of Power, Outrider Executioner have had their powers reduced to 35%. They were previously at 50%. Now Vulnerable status, power reduced to 15%, previously 25%. And the Technomancer hero tree node, damage against poison, had its power reduced to 15% from 30%. So that's quite a big nerf. Now the Pyromancer hero tree node, Trial of Ashes, has been reduced 15% extra damage instead of 30% extra damage. Again, quite a few kind of nerfs, I would say there, but is it going to match out? Is it going to balance with alongside that time of the expeditions being put down as well? I don't know. Time will tell on this one, but let me know in the comment section below what you think about these changes. So with that all being said, the full patch notes will be in the description below if you want to go ahead and read through them in detail. Now, if you want to help support the channel, again, hit the like button. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, little notification bell. We'll be giving you all of the Outriders news, and we have some crazy builds coming out that have not been affected by these patch notes. So thank you so much for watching this video. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video.